We're back. Okay, the normal fretboard is warped. That means the tuning sounds like this. Okay, the pattern fretboard is unwarped, and that tuning goes like this. Okay, and the reason is because it's all perfect fourths. Because the bottom four strings, these guys down here now, are tuned in perfect fourths, and the top string is a perfect fourth from string number 5. That just happens to be a 5 there. I know it's going to throw you off. That's not a 5 signifying string number 5, but it is string number 5 if you count from the bottom. So this R here in this diagram here, this R would be like your F, and the 7 would be the E. You say, how could E be a 7? It's not E7. E7 is this. Because that's the lowest note. So E, if it was the 7th, it would be the 7th of F. My guitar's out of tune, but there's not much I can do about it right now. These concepts, I could do them without a guitar. I'm like Beethoven. I could do this stuff deaf. So, we made here the unwarped fretboard. And what it is how do we put together those pentatonic scales? And let me talk about the cage system. C, A, G, E, and then D would be there. You see how E goes to D? So D would be there once again. Okay, and D starts on the 2. All right? So E starts on the root, D starts on the 2, C starts on the 3, A starts on the 5. What starts on the 4? Another E shape. You wouldn't believe it, but we could talk about that. Because the E shape that starts on the 4th, the Lydian, is embedded in the C cage. This is the C cage right here. Okay, now I'm going to include, oh, we're still in text mode. I'm going to include the 3 up there and the 3 down here. Okay, but that's pretty much the unwarped C cage. All right, so the 4th is included in the C cage. It's it's a E minor shape, and then it's I'd say it's an E minor shape, but that's something I don't quite understand right now. But we got our C shape there. So cage starts on C. Why? Because the C shape, I'll get my capo. I knew it was going to come down to the capo. So this is just like your guitar, like a mini version of your guitar. Okay, the C shape requires no sunken notes. There's nothing below the capo in the C shape when you're talking about caged. When the C is, you know, either on the finger bar, the capo, or the fret nut. Okay, so it can be done. You can't do that on the other shapes. So that starts the C shape there. Embedded within the C shape is the 4th. So if you play this, now I have to borrow it. What we just played supposedly is something like this. Now if I take that to an E shape, collapsing that C shape into that E shape, I call it an E plus. Okay, so there's one. Now where do you think the fifth of that would be? That's the 4. The 5 goes down to the G shape. Okay, get carried away. Oh, that hurt. So, that's the thing about caged. Okay. Oh yeah, that was just a little background on caged. But in that that C shape right there, we've got the E, the third is the E, the G is the 5th, the A is the 6th, and that R is C in the key of C. In the key of C, it could be anything. You could go down a whole step from that if you want to do it in B flat, right? I could do it in B flat. It doesn't matter where that B flat is. You could be tuned to anything. You could be down C tuned. You could be down D tuned. You could be down B tuned. You could be up tuned, down tuned, everywhere. It's all the same as long as it's a guitar, 6-string with 2 warped strings on top. Okay? Bass players have the first 4 strings all in P4 tuning. Here they are. These guys right here. These are the rudiments, the basic building blocks. A stack of 3 short, 2, 3, 5, 6 R2, and a stack of 2 long, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R, and you don't even need to add the 4 and the 7. They can go away. They don't have to be there. Okay? They do not have to be there. So I can just get rid of them. Alright? That is what we're looking at here. 3, 5, 6 R. That's in pentatonic. So it goes 3, 5, 6 R, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then warp it up +1 to compensate for that third on the between the top 3 and the top 2 strings. Okay, one more time. Then we go back to the 3 and the 5. It sits right on top of it. Okay, now no matter what key you're in, these patterns hold. You just have to line it up with the key. You're in key of F sharp, right? Key of F sharp. It goes something like this, like so it's a little hard to play over there. I got all my junk on the piano. So that's the key of F sharp. Alright, so even in F sharp, it holds. If we wanted to play that same, if we want to play something in F sharp, we would want to probably play the E shape, but look at that. It's the same thing. It's just this is off the fretboard in Zongo land. It doesn't exist. No string, no sound. Here is the guitar itself. Okay? Here is the guitar itself. Alright, but this is unwarped now. It's unwarped, but we can still use it for patterns because you learn the patterns because you're going to be hitting the warp, the tuning warp at different times in different places in your patterns. The rest of your playing pattern life, and it becomes easy. It becomes easy. It's like shifting gears on a bike. You just do it without thinking. But you got to think about it at first, right? Got to know what where you're at. What string are you on when you're going to pass into the warp? Because it doesn't look the same. Good coffee. Good coffee. So. Whether it's a warped fretboard or not, we want to look at an unwarped one for the patterns. Here's your S stack of 3 short here.